all relative to the prohibition of dumping and/or burning of specified substances and providing for penalties for a violation thereof.
I got a request to speak for Mr. Billy Broussard. Mr. Broussard, would you come to the podium? For the record, just state your name,
My name is Billy Broussard.
and we have 5 minutes to speak. If you need more time, let me know.
First of all, about the ordinance, I'm just curious to know, is there any constituents here that are in grievance because of their value, their property, or health issues, or anything that y'all know of? So there's no one here
That's in Poche Bridge?
see, they on Poche Bridge and have issues with this in Poche Bridge?
Yes.
Okay, nobody on Duchamp Road? Nobody. Okay, I will mention, I bought some property on Duchamp Road, and I've spoke to many of y'all about the issues that I have with the ordinance. And I'm hearing different interpretations of the ordinance and how it's gonna apply from different ones, depending on who I speak to. And I think that it bothers me that if each one of y'all have a different, thought of how it might be enforced right now, years down the road, when we have a different group, and they say, well, what was the intent for the ordinance? And they interpret it different than any of y'all know. And, I mean, you got something like this that has jail time attached to it. I believe that's pretty steep. Some issues of what has been explained to me, I'm like, I understand, that's some problems. I spoke to the representative Hugh about one of the issues that Mr. Richard spoke to about in his district, and I don't understand those problems, which is a lot different than vegetative debris. It sounds like it's tires, batteries, some serious environmental issues that can cause harm to people, their constituents. I will tell you my property, and you can ask anybody in that community, since I bought that property, their property value went up, not down. And I guarantee you, anybody from that area can come in here and tell you that. Mr. Richard, there's something that we spoke about that I think this ordinance, me and you, share with all of us, just to say, and we allow, as we spoke, neighbors maybe to bring debris. If we burn some debris, they can bring some debris from their area to yours, maybe to burn some trees or some branches. They might be cleaning their yard. I allow them to come to my home address, my farm address. And if this ordinance passes, if I understand right, I don't think we'll be able to do that anymore. And I don't know if that's correct or not, but if we help our neighbors out a lot, and a lot of farmers, thank God for the farmers, they help a lot of people in the community in situations like that. I've been working in the area for a pretty good while now, over 20 years. And in different areas I've seen where the farmers especially, they got water pieces of property and they go, you know what? They're doing that work right there, helping these people, y'all can put that stuff over here. And then with this ordinance, we won't be able to do that, if I understand it correctly. If I'm wrong, I'd like us to make that clear now, then while years down the road, we can go back and say, what was the intent? What were they trying to accomplish? Where, you know what I'm saying, where they, and if St. Martin Parish, or any of y'all, any place that anybody can bring debris to, if anybody, a resident, I'm a constituent, I live on Main Street, if I have some debris, and I want to bring it to a place in St. Martin Parish, or do y'all have any place that y'all can think of that I can bring it to, government and or private sector, in the parish? Nothing. There's nothing here. So the point is, I feel that y'all putting the cart before the horse. If you're gonna pass an ordinance and you don't even offer it to the constituents, a place that they can bring even vegetative debris. I believe that maybe down the road, this might be a great ordinance to pass after we can help the constituents do things, not just stack debris at the road and clog up the ditches and cause drainage issues. I live on Main Street, you should see what my front yard looks like yesterday. I'm on the parish line, parish water coming in, my whole front yard, my neighbors, everything flooded. If we clog up the ditches with that much debris that people that now hire people to clean their yards, licensed or not, and clean up, and if that debris has to be put in the ditch, that's where it's going to end up. I've been doing this for a long time. When they do the debris, storm cleanup and all, y'all know it ends up in the ditch. We end up with floods right after the storm, because that's where the debris ends up. So If we don't, and in time, this might be something that we can do. This ordinance was, I got it around July 1st, August 3rd, in the middle of hurricane season, to put this on the constituents and anybody in this parish, I think is a bad timing, because right now, they're not cleaning up behind a storm, but they're preparing. Everybody, look, can you help me? Help me. And if, even in the private sector, if you think about how many have a place to be able to bring trees, or how many have a place that if they're inspected right now, be able to stay open. If y'all think about it and look into it, you might shut down everybody. So you're gonna have people like myself that do emergency services, helping people. You'll shut down the whole industry. Because St. Martin Parish people, there's a lot to think out of. St. Martin Parish people that do this for business, etc. And if we do that right now, August 3rd, I think is just bad timing. And if you gave us, and the constituents and yourselves, and communicate and work with the private sector, I think that we can maybe partner with them. Y'all can maybe partner with the private sector, and we find a way to provide the constituents a place to put their debris and make it affordable. But instead of just passing it this quick and doing a study or some research to say, how can we provide these situations for our constituents, I think we get a lot more done than just passing the ordinance and then we figure out after how is it going to be enforced. Because jail time, I'm on Duchamp Road, and it was announced that Duchamp Road was one of the issues. I want to know if exactly what I'm doing right now, if I'm doing it tomorrow, is that going to lead me to jail time? Because if I invited any of y'all to my place, I'd be proud to bring y'all to my place. It's not a dump. It's I want to do this problem, clean up this property, bought it for cheap because it was almost worthless. But I'm doing this also for my kids in their school, to doing research, etc. I've talked to other colleges, like Southern, supposed to have dinner with the doctor here soon. It got postponed because I was so busy just here lately, to show things that we can do in our community. So I think if we take a step back and look at it, and especially right at the time of hurricane season, after it's passed, it is passed. And then how is it going, how are we going to enforce it? And who's going to enforce it? Is it going to, we're talking about jail time. Is it going to be state police? Is it going to be sheriff's office?
Mr. Broussard, your time is expired.
Can I have more time?
Yeah, I'll give you 3
And I want to ask, did anybody talk to the sheriff's office or the sheriff? I talked to him, he wasn't aware of it at the time. He actually sent it to him. I wanted to know if now my sheriff is going to have his deputies pull me over or pull others over for transporting branches or leaves or something like that down the road, or putting them somewhere. And even myself, I want to know, is this something that's going to be enforced on me and who else? And I've heard that, I've talked to some and they said they were told, don't worry about it. Out of sight, out of mind. You have nothing to worry about. But they're doing the same thing I'm doing and even more. But I'm like, how is this going to, how y'all going to implement this, and who? Like right now, we have people right now, there was my name, not my name, but my property, so this is one of the problems. Since I've been there, property value went up. The places I've helped all my neighbors around me with drainage issues, with disaster cleanup, trees, root balls, etc. And you go talk to them. And I was told that there was surveillance on me, evidence. I've yet to see it, because I'd like to know what is it. If I say, hey man, I got something on you, and I got that over your head, and I don't have nothing, I would like to see it. Then that way I can explain maybe what that is. I got pictures of my place right now. I can show you after the meeting. So this is my place. Y'all come by and look at it. I find my place is what it was before in regards to trash. I hauled roll-off loads of trash that neighbors over the years had dumped their shingles, etc., scraped all that up, brought it to the landfill. But I think if I have a long list of things I can keep going. I don't know how much time.
I know you